Somebody Knows, the brand new film that came out a couple weeks ago on Amazon Prime, directed by Dave Franco. Alison Brie plays the lead character of Allie, who, following the cancellation of her show in Hollywood, comes back to her hometown for the first time in years and sees her ex-boyfriend, the person who she left to go to Hollywood 10 years prior, who's Sean, played by Jay Ellis. After they spent a whole long night together, she then realized that she's there the week of Sean's wedding, and Sean is obviously marrying Cassidy, played by Kiersey Clemons. Allie wants to attend the wedding and see if there is still a spark before he actually gets officially married for their 10-year-old left behind relationship. The film is an hour and 46 minutes long and is rated R. Welcome back to a brand new movie review here on Max Talks. Movie today we're talking about Somebody I Used to Know. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, ring the bell. If you're new, I do other movie reviews, TV show reviews, box office breakdown shows, and movie rankings. So please subscribe, ring the bell. If you're new to the channel, comment down below. What are your thoughts on this film? If you've seen it a couple weeks ago, I am very much late to the party on this movie. Just didn't have time those last couple of weeks to watch it. I finally had time last night. So what are your thoughts? Did you like it? Did you not like it? No spoilers down below. If you have not seen it, tell me, did you even know this movie came out on Amazon Prime? And are you going to check it out? Or you feel like you've already gone too past its release date? Also, please like the video, guys. The thumbs up button, that's how you support this channel. So I still wanted to get back to this movie. And it came out on Amazon Prime back in, I think, the second or third week of February. And there's a lot of reasons why I wanted to watch this movie. Obviously, Dave Franco is the director, co-writer of this movie with his... Also co-wrote the movie with his wife and star of the movie, Alison Brie. This is Dave Franco's second directorial film after, I think it was called The Rental, which came out in 2020. It is the Rental came out in 2020. I didn't see it. And I think Dave Franco and Alison Brie, obviously they're a couple in real life, but they're two of the most underrated people I think working. It really sucks that since Glow ended a couple of years ago, getting canceled, for some reason, Alison Brie, you just don't see her pop up in tons of things anymore. And I loved her in Glow, and she's a great, likable lead actress. So it's good to see her. The cast is good. Everything about this, I wanted to check out this movie. So it's got my positives, my negatives, and then my score. So I don't say this a lot, I guess, but I think the biggest positive that really holds this movie together is a extremely likable cast. These are great actors who are extremely likable, who have great chemistry with each other, that really carries you through this 1 hour and 45-minute runtime. Alison Brie is great in this movie as Allie, someone who's still trying to figure out who she truly is. Again, 10 years prior, she left Sean to go to Hollywood. And after she comes back and realizing that Hollywood might be gone for her, she's realizing if leaving Sean behind all those years ago was a big mistake, and that if it's a life-altering mistake. And she's absolutely terrific in this movie. Yes, sometimes she can be unlikable, but she's very passionate. And because of that one night she had with Sean when she came back, and not realizing that Sean's about to get married, she felt a spark. And when you feel a spark, I think everyone can kind of relate to this, I guess. You want to go after it. And she clearly wants to still go after it. She still feels that she can rekindle a huge heartbreak. Again, she really tore apart Sean's life when she left, and he really put it back together. And does she want to ruin his life again by trying to ruin this marriage? Does she want to just help out the other person? I think there's a lot of really interesting things going on, and she's great in the movie because you care about her because it's Alison Brie. She's a great actress. As I said, co-wrote the movie. In her career, she only has 3 writing credits. That was also with Horse Girl, which was a Netflix film that came out a couple years ago, and another movie that came out last year from the same director from Horse Girl, Spin Me Round. So it's her 3rd writing credit. And again, I think she also does a good job from a writing point of view. The dialogue between characters is really solid. There are times, and I'll get to the cliches in a second, but there's times that she doesn't. They write out of the cliches and let the real authenticity of these are actually real people come through. I think that's one of the strongest aspects, that a lot of these characters, yes, likable actors, but they also feel like real people making real life decisions. And I think that's why the movie works more than it doesn't. Jay Ellis is also very good in this movie. I think he could have had a little bit more to do as a character. The movie is heavily focused on Alison Brie, heavily. And I think the promos and the trailers and the poster will show you that it's kind of both of them. It's really not. He's definitely there in the whole movie, but it's really about her perspective on the situation. And Sean's a very interesting character as well. I just think he's probably the least interesting of the three main characters. I think my favorite character and performance actually of the movie is Cassidy, played by Kiersey Clemons. She's marrying Sean, Jay Ellis's character, after 6 months of knowing each other. And Cassidy is going through a very similar situation that Allie went through when they were with Sean. Allie chose for Hollywood. And in this situation, Cassidy is giving up her whole band that she's playing for 5 years to fit into Sean's life. And the dynamic between Allie and Cassidy was my favorite of the movie. I think Alison Brie and Kiersey Clemons, again, underrated actors who need more work. I think Kiersey Clemons is really starting to pick it up with tons of work as of late. She'll be obviously in the upcoming Flash movie, but they're both excellent in the movie. And the one person I was really pulling for to make it through out of this movie okay was Cassidy, actually. She's kind of thrown into the situation at her wedding, not expecting this longtime ex of Sean's to show up. Is she ruining the wedding? She tries to get to know her. I really respect Cassie's character, Cassie as a person in this movie a lot, and obviously Clemons really brings that out of her. She's really the part of the movie you really connect with, trying to be who you are and not even like someone who you love, and you can still be together, but still wanting you to do what you want to do. And I find Cassidy's character is really awesome in this movie. As I said, the movie also flies by. It's an hour 45. I love the last 20 minutes of this movie. I think it's a great ending to the movie. It almost gave it a better grade than I think. I had to really sleep on it to really get my thoughts on it. And that's why I'm going to go into, there's a lot of other fun performances with Danny Pudi, Olga Merediz, Haley Joel Osment, Amy Sedaris. There's a lot of fun performances in there as well. But if I get to my negatives, the fact that I feel kind of conflicted on the movie sometimes, I can't really give it as high a grade as I wanted to. Is the heartwarming authenticity of the last 20 minutes of the movie, I think, is what I wanted the whole movie to be. I did not like the opening act of this movie. This movie in the third act goes away from cliches and tries to add in that authenticity that I was talking about. But the first act forces characters to be in movie rom-com stereotypical situations. Like Allie and Sean spend a whole day together. It clearly seems like they're more than friends. And Sean never tells her that this is literally days before his wedding, because he can't tell her that, or there's not going to be a real conflict that happens. There are times in the first act where things happen in the rom-com cliche that I was just not thrilled about. There's obviously also those got to stand up in public and do something in a rom-com movie, which I think I am kind of tired of seeing in every rom-com. Someone having to do something in a group of tons of people. It like only happens in rom-coms. So I think the writing for me is way better in the last half of the movie than it is in the first half, because the first half, in order to get to where we need to go, the writing needs to get in some of those horror movie stereotype, rom-com stereotypes, situations to get us to the actual point of the movie. And for me, I just didn't like how he started. It was just too cliche. Of course, the person who has made it to Hollywood is now suffering, goes back home, doesn't have a great relationship with her mom, finds an old fling, he's getting married. You've kind of seen that plot line actually a lot. But once you actually get to the whole wedding weekend, the movie's actually really good. But to get to that point, this movie needed, for me, too many excuses to kind of get you there. It's obviously kind of a romantic comedy, but for me, when they kind of did comedy, it wasn't that funny. I didn't find myself laughing that all throughout the movie. They really try the comedy with Haley Joel Osment's character, and I think sometimes it works, and sometimes it really, I'll say 80% of the time, it doesn't work, and 20% of his character works. It's not his fault. It's just like the jokes are just the same joke over and over again. I also would have liked a little more stuff with Allie and her mom. It's such a great relationship in the last 15 minutes of the movie, but they don't really do anything with it until then. So this is a weird movie for me because I really wanted to like the movie because I really love the last 20 minutes of this movie. It's a really beautiful, authentic ending. And I really love the main three actors and characters. But for me, they took too many excuses for me to get into this situation. I think if it were a little bit more original in how we got here, this could be one of the best rom-coms of the year, but it does struggle with too many for me rom-com cliches, and the comedy for me just falls really flat in this movie as well. So I'm going to give Somebody I Used to Know a 3 out of 5 stars, 64% for Somebody I Used to Know. That's on Amazon Prime right now. So thanks for joining me on this review of Somebody I Used to Know. More reviews coming soon. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you guys around soon.